no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that, spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas, think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past and the pettiness. A reflection of the emptiness, hilarious. You think you're worth my time, you're delirious, mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains that last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah. Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Gonna learn the consequence of being incompetent. Mental health is confidence, dreams into modestness. I'm not here to save the day, that's for you to take away. I could play a million mind games, but instead I say something not illogical.
And now, Mike's thoughts. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, the Jets have finally jetted. The Jets have officially jetted in this 2024 NFL season. And if you guys have been living under a rock, you should know that Robert Saleh has officially been fired by the New York Football Jets. He has been fired because of, quote, failed expectations. Now, let's just be honest. I was kind of in the troll mood this afternoon, and imagine that, right? And I said that basically Robert Saleh got fired because he did not want to play ball with Aaron Rodgers, aka he did not want to bring Davante Adams into this hellhole and have somewhat of a successful season. Now, rumors and reports are starting to surface that Aaron Rodgers' relationship with Robert Saleh wasn't fractured. They were still, quote, good friends. They're still on talking terms. But let's just be flat out honest. Let's just be honest about it. The general manager, Aaron Rodgers, wants Davante Adams there. The general manager, Aaron Rodgers, knew that Robert Saleh wasn't going to do everything that he could in his power to bring in Davante Adams. So general manager Aaron Rodgers says, Robert Saleh, it's been good, it's been real, out of here. Now, when they say failed expectations, I know that the Jets fans, the media, the people in general expected the Jets to be a playoff-bound team, expected the Jets to win the Super Bowl, expected the Jets to go to the moon, baby. But the simple fact of the matter is that Robert Saleh has only been Aaron Rodgers' coach for less than 6 games. 5 games and 3 plays. That's what it comes down to. So failed expectations, 2-3 season, meh. But Robert Saleh and the New York Jets have officially parted ways. Officially parted ways. With that being said, guys, do the Jets still have a chance at the playoffs? Do the Jets still have a chance to win the AFC East? Do the Jets still have a chance to make the Super Bowl? No, no, and no. Cue that intro. Are you ready for the best damn NFL show on the planet? Man Hour Nation, rise up.
Yeah, hey, let's go. Hitting that gridiron, we going hard, we running the plays. You know the vibe, only the strong survive. Gotta keep your head in the game. Talking NFL, uncut, straight raw, steady bringing that sauce. We about to take off, getting heat. You don't really wanna try them. Hey, who gon' win? It's a battle of the giants. This show is the flyest. Nobody can deny it. This is Man Hour. Sport Talk. Man Hour. Sport Talk. What team you reppin'? We keep it interesting. Who caught another down? Who got
Shabaka Bakashi with the Man Hour. Be sure to over to manhourradio.com. Check out the merchandise page. Check out the blog section. But in the link below, there is a link to become a Pigskin Pundit. If you want to be like Jim, if you want to be like John, if you want to be like John, if you want to be like James, click on the link and become a Pigskin Pundit. We get after-hours footage. We get some free merch. We get free entry into the weekly NFL Pick'ems. We get a lot of free stuff if you become a Pigskin Pundit. Also, we get to stream any game that you like to see. So for all you Raiders fans that the Raiders are never on national TV, we can stream those games for you. If you are an Eagles fan and the Eagles are never on national TV either, we can stream those Eagles games for you as well. But you have to become a Pigskin Pundit and slide into the DMs and say, hey, Buck, I want to watch the Raiders this week. I said, I got you, big dog. I got you. I got you. I got you. But guys, it is Overreaction Tuesday here on this beautiful Tuesday edition of Man Hour NFL Talk. We are going to overreact to Deshaun Watson. Lawsuits are finally done. We got to talk about, is that going to elevate his play to the MVP level? Denver Broncos, are they actually a playoff-bound team? What? Broncos in the playoffs? What? And Russell Wilson, starting quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers come week 6. Slow it down, baby. Slow it down, baby. And of course, we got to talk about the Kansas City Chiefs. Are they the most unstoppable team in the NFL? Quick answer is yes. Kansas City Chiefs can't be stopped. But before we get too carried away, we got to welcome some people into the chat. We got James Chamberlain in the chat. He said the Jets jetted early this season. Listen, James, we've all been teenage boys. We've all gotten so excited where we jetted way before it was time to actually jet. And let's just be honest, the Jets did jet way too early. Granted, Robert Saleh is losing as a head coach. He does not have a winning season. Zero playoff appearances in his 4 years as a New York Jet head coach. And just they've been really irrelevant. So let's just be honest. So yeah, the Jets jetted early. Smart head coaching or interim head coaching move. I don't know. To be determined. I'll do some more research about this guy moving forward. But coaching, or like the players seem to like him. Like other coaches seem to like him. So really shocked that it wasn't Nathaniel Hackett, but it is what it is. John Peebles is in the chat today. He says, what up, y'all? What's up, John? Hope John just got in a motorcycle wreck just the other day, guys. So hopefully John is doing well, healing, and getting that bike fixed, because it's going to be a long winter, Jim. So you got time to fix it. You got time to fix it. We got Mark D in the chat. Says, what up, Buckmeister? What's up, Mark? Hope you're having a grand old day, man. I look forward to seeing you on Saturday as we break down Week 6 NFL Talk. So with that being said, Week 6 is among us here, guys. Week 5 is officially over. Chiefs did beat the Saints last night in a pretty dominating fashion. John Sedran's in the chat as well. Speaking of Pigskin Pundit, John's a Pigskin Pundit. John, you should be getting your shirt or sometime, anytime here now. So if you've gotten it, let me know. And if not, let me know as well. Either way, let me know, John, if you've gotten your free merchandise yet. But he says, what up, y'all? What up, what up, what up, what up? And Jim Powell says, you know that Adams shit is the real reason. And Jim, getting out of wall, but every indication points to the real reason why Robert Saleh did ultimately get fired was because he did not want to play ball with Davante Adams. Robert Saleh was kind of reluctant to bring Aaron Rodgers in as is, and then he got his wish list. He's like, what the hell is going on here, right? Like, I want Allen Lazard, I want Dalvin Cook, I want all these people, yada, yada, yada. And it's been a shit show ever since. So now the next want list is to bring Davante Adams over. He'll change everything. And Robert Saleh is probably like, you know what, man? Slow it down, baby. Slow it down, because Davante Adams, we have Garrett Wilson. Like, come on. I don't know. It is what it is. And Mark D says, call it how it is. Call it how it is. Robert Saleh was shit canned. Yeah, he was. He was fired. He was let go. James Frank's in the chat. Top fan. James, that diamond looks really good next to your name, man. He says, Kareem Hunt still got it. Much love for him. Another dumb move by my Browns. James, I'm going to be flat out honest. When the Cleveland Browns did not re-sign Kareem Hunt this offseason and Nick Chubb we knew he was going to be on the IR for at least 4 to 5 weeks to start the season after his ACL injury, I was dumbfounded by that. Because I thought Kareem Hunt did a pretty good job of carrying the load last season when Nick Chubb did go down. And to not re-sign him, I was like, what? And the minute I heard that, I was like, you know what? The Chiefs got to go out and get Kareem Hunt. Have like a little redemption tour, right? And yes, it was a very dumb move by the Cleveland Browns by letting Kareem Hunt go. He did break 100 yards last night. I think he had 102 yards rushing versus the Saints last night. So it was great to see him. And he had like 29 carries. Give that man the rock, said Andy Reid. Party, getting ready to leave for vacation for tomorrow. Laura, have a grand time on your vacation. Hopefully you're not going to Florida because Florida's getting ready to get hit by that Category 5 hurricane, guys. So if you are in the Florida area right now, I know a lot of my players, or not like former players right now, and of course my nephew is down there in Florida enjoying fall break. So y'all better be safe. Be safe out there if you're in any type of spread throughout the world right now, especially on vacation in Florida. Pigskin Puntins, get you some, says John, and hell yeah. And George Lucas, 1 year anniversary follower here, says the two vets showed up last night, meeting Juju and Kareem Hunt. Both had a great games. Both had both 100 yards plus. George Lucas always says Hackett is garbage. Nathaniel Hackett is garbage, but Aaron Rodgers loves him some Nathaniel Hackett. That's a real reason why the Denver Broncos named Nathaniel Hackett as their head coach, because they wanted Aaron Rodgers to come to Denver a couple years ago. Never really happened, but if you want to make Aaron Rodgers happy, you should have hired Nathaniel Hackett. James Frank says, facts. Kareem Hunt was the heart and soul of the offense without Nick Chubb in the backfield. Very good season. And Laura is heading to Houston. My cousin lives in Houston. Actually, Sugar Land is where my cousin lives. It's a little suburb of Houston. And he says it's very, very nice there. I've yet to visit him. Yet to visit my cousin. But guys, we got a great show for you lined up today. We got a great show for you lined up today because we get to talk about the unstoppable, that's right, I said the unstoppable Kansas City Chiefs. As you guys know, last night, first things first, if you guys are not following our Facebook page, Facebook.com/Man Hour. You guys want to see some trolls there? Every Chiefs post there. Go over there and check out the Kansas City Chiefs post. What up, though, bro? What up, though? Okay. With that being said, guys, the Kansas City Chiefs did improve to 5-0 this season. What? You want to play on my phone? Okay, here you go. Here you go, bud. Have fun. All right. Restart that. My bad. Let me go ahead and get that. Little man wants the phone, so little man gets the phone. It is what it is. But as you guys know, the Kansas City Chiefs do improve to 5-0 on the season with a 26-13 win over the New Orleans Saints. This was without two of the biggest offensive weapons on the Kansas City side of the ball, with Isaiah Pacheco being out and, of course, Rashid Rice being out for most likely for the rest of the season. As we look at the Kansas City Chiefs, they're 5-0. When we look at the Kansas City Chiefs, they're finding different ways to win. When we look at the Kansas City Chiefs right now, is there a team out there that can beat the Kansas City Chiefs? Straight up, is there a team out there right now that can beat the Kansas City Chiefs? That's the question I'm asking you guys. So comment in the comments below. Is there a team out there that can beat the Kansas City Chiefs? Give me a team and give me a reason why. So far this season, guys, Patrick Mahomes has had a turbulent season per se, right? He's definitely not performing at an MVP level or the greatest quarterback in the NFL level as of right now. Last night, he only averaged 3.7 air yards in the game versus the Saints. Many times this season, or many times, like in the game last night, the Kansas City Chiefs had 3 to 4 tight ends on the field at the same time. Kareem Hunt, I might add, is their third string running back. He has 102 yards He had 102 yards on the ground last night on 27 attempts. Really un-Kansas City-like per se. They also had Juju Smith-Schuster stepped up as well. 130 yards on the ground or in the air. And the Kansas City defense, yet again, is a top 10 defense. Guys, the Kansas City Chiefs find ways to win game after game after game. Whether it's putting 4 tight ends on the field, whether it's spreading you out and airing it out, whether it's a ground and pound crown attack, or if it's a defense attack. Like I said, the Kansas City Chiefs defense right now, guys, is top 10. They're only giving up 17 points a game so far this season. Every team they have played, they've held them underneath their average. Baltimore Ravens only scored 20 points against the Kansas City Chiefs. The Ravens right now are averaging 30 points per game. The Bengals held them to 25 points per game. The Bengals were averaging 28 points a game. You guys are catching the trend here, right? The Falcons held them to 17 points. The Falcons are actually averaging 22 points per game. Chargers 10, they're averaging 17, and the Saints are averaging 28 points per game and held them to 13 points. When we look at this, guys, the Kansas City Chiefs they are a team that can beat you in many, many ways, like I said. And they continue to get better in those ways. Who would have thought that Andy Reid would have rushed Kareem Hunt for 29 times last night? The ground and pound, the nickel and dime you down the field. Did you see that coming? I certainly did not, and I'm a Kansas City Chiefs fan. The Chargers game was a defensive battle. The defense is still great. They can also outscore you by pushing the ball down the field still. The Kansas City Chiefs can beat you in a plethora of ways. Guys, I am telling you that the Kansas City Chiefs are unstoppable. I'm telling you that the Kansas City Chiefs, even in their B game, like they did, like they played last night, they're still a top 5 team in the NFL. Who out there realistically can beat the Kansas City Chiefs? I'm telling you guys right now, they are an unstoppable force. 3-peat is pending. 3-peat is loading. Understand that, guys. All you Raiders fans, all you Vikings fans, all you Lions fans, whoever you root for, the Kansas City Chiefs are going to be an unstoppable force. Now, they're going to lose a game this season, or 3. It is going to happen. It always happens. Those losses just make them that much stronger. You can only learn so much when you consistently win all the time. So when they have a hiccup, potentially versus the Carolina Panthers, when they have a hiccup, potentially against the Los Angeles Chargers, when they have a hiccup, potentially versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's just going to improve them, going to make them better. Last Christmas, right, the Kansas City Chiefs were a sinking ship. They were a sinking ship. They could not buy a win. Raiders come into Arrowhead Stadium, and they beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City Chiefs have not lost since then. Haven't lost since then. Guys, the Kansas City Chiefs are an unstoppable force. In the comments, guys, let's have a healthy discussion. Who can beat the Kansas City Chiefs realistically? Give me a team and give me a reason why. Give me a reason why. I don't want any Chiefs hurt, but if they continue to X-lax with the kick-cack, so be it. If they confuse the X-lax with the kick-cack, sheesh. Casey Morgan says Juju and Kareem Hunt showed out last night. Listen, anytime a running back, a third-string running back I might add, 20 days off the practice squad, has 29 carries for 100 yards, football gods are in your favor. Football gods are in your favor. And Laura says, I was hoping Kansas City would lose last night. I'm just saying, she says. She's only saying that because she only wanted to be the only undefeated team. Let's just be honest. John says, I sound constipated. I sound nasally because it's allergy season, you douche. George Lucas says the defense is balling out. The defense is balling out. The defense, yet again, is a top 10 defense. Right now, they're ranked 9th in the NFL. Not only do the Kansas City Chiefs have a great offense with great coaching and can beat you any stretch of the imaginations, if the offense doesn't show up or if the offense stumbles for a quarter or two, the defense is there to bail them out. It's up like it is. John says the Detroit Lions can beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Potentially. Potentially, they could, but The Lions defense is suspect at best. The Lions defense pass rush is blah. The Lions secondary is If you shut down one aspect of their offense, whether it be the passing game or the running game, the Detroit Lions are going to collapse. The Kansas City Chiefs, if you decide to shut down the running game, they will pass the ball all over you. If you try to take away the passing game, they're going to run all over you like they just did last night. Just saying. Laura, you're up. Same OG Big Quake says, it's going to be hard to beat the Kansas City Chiefs when the refs are on their roster. And there we go. We've been waiting for a refs compliment here. We have been waiting for it all show long. I posted a thing out there earlier today. The first comment was, the refs are... Listen here, same old BG Big Quake. What did the refs do last night to, quote, help the Kansas City Chiefs? What did the refs do last night to cheat for the Kansas City Chiefs? What did the refs do last night to let Kareem Hunt rush for 103 yards? What did the refs do last night to allow Juju to catch 130 yards passing? What did the refs do last night to let Patrick Mahomes run forward, run backwards, spin, and dive for the first down? He did his best impression of Lamar Jackson. What did the refs do? What did the refs do? The point of the matter is that the refs did not help the Kansas City Chiefs last night. Matter of fact, the refs were more helping of the, what are you doing, bud? There you go. The refs were actually helping the Saints more than anything. I'm just saying. Casey says, I full on believe that the Bucs can beat the Kansas City Chiefs. If the Bucs are executing a A+ game from start to finish, Casey, I will give you that. If the Bucs on every aspect of the game completed A+ 100% of the time, they can beat the Kansas City Chiefs. I will give you that one. I will give you the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. However, the Kansas City Chiefs will not play the Buccaneers. The Kansas City Chiefs potentially could play the Buccaneers in the Super Bowl. I get it. But the Buccaneers are probably going to be a second round exit in the playoffs. The NFC quickly got a lot better. Laura says, I don't think my Vikings are there yet. Jim Powell says Chiefs D is coming strong. It's coming on strong early. Could be bad later. Jim, I would say that the case if last year they did not prove that otherwise. Last year, the defense performed great all season long. And ever since Steve Spagnuolo has been the defensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs, they get better as the season goes on. Historically, they start off slow. The first 6, 7, 8 games of the season, they're a subpar defense. The last half, always better. Last season, their subpar play was the first half of the season. They're still a top 15 defense, and they got better as the season progressed. I don't think they're going to get any worse, barring any injuries. Now, if Bolton would happen to go down, or Chris Jones, or Justin Reed, or McDuffie, or somebody like just like that, then it could be a long season. But barring injury, I don't think the Chiefs' defense gets any worse. John must be a Detroit Lions fan, says Detroit just has that culture to match the Chiefs. They always pull through. They should be unbeaten as well. They outplayed and should have won the Bucs in game 2. Shoulda, woulda, coulda, right, John? Shoulda, woulda, coulda. But the fact of the matter is that the Detroit Lions are going to lose to the Cowboys this week. The simple fact of the matter is that the Detroit Lions are going to have a rough regular season. Now, they might have a better postseason. I predict them going to the NFC Championship game again. But this regular season, the Lions are going to be a little rough. Make them a little bit more battle-tested. And it could make it for a good Super Bowl. Lions versus Chiefs. Could happen. It could happen. They won't beat them, though, but it could happen. Laura says, I normally wouldn't say this, but the refs helped that win last night. How did the refs help you? Stop locking it up, bud. Oh. How did the refs help the Chiefs last night? I'm asking a legit question. How did the Chiefs help the Chiefs last night? I don't see it. Casey says the Chiefs have a deep wide receiver threat, 2 tight ends that could catch, and a good running back. The issue the Chiefs has right now is the left side of the offensive line. And they're young, second and rookie players. They're just going to get better, Casey. But the Chiefs are well balanced on offense. They got receivers, they got tight ends, they got running backs. The only weakness is Casey is the left side of the offensive line. And they're getting better each and every week. Big Quake says, man, go to bed. Go to sleep. Man, I never get tired. I ain't never go to sleep. George Lucas says Spagnuolo knows when to send the pressure. Steve Spagnuolo is arguably one of the best defensive coordinators in the NFL. What was it? 4th and 13, right? The Kansas City Chiefs man up on the outside. They brought, 9 guys in the house. Of course, Derek Carr threw a perfect pass right through the tight end's hands. But yeah, Steve Spagnuolo always dials up the pressure at the right time. And 9 times out of 10, the Kansas City Chiefs get to them when they do dial up the pressure. Steve Spagnuolo is a great defensive coordinator. I mean, luckily for me, as a Kansas City Chiefs fan, nobody wants to hire him as a head coach. So he's staying put in Kansas City, which is awesome. But he should be getting some head coaching looks, right? Big Quake says the Bengals can always beat them if you keep the refs from cheating. Yeah. Tell me how the Bengals could have won week 2. How could the Bengals couldn't have beat them last year in the regular season, or in the playoffs a couple years ago? The Bengals are complete trash. Get the Bengals out of here, Big Quake. Come on, man. You're better than that. The Bengals are trash. Bengals are trash. James says Kareem Hunt ain't no true third-string runner back. He replaced his number 1 or number 2. James, you got me there. Kareem Hunt is not a third-string running back. You are spot on. He is the number 1 running back right now for the Kansas City Chiefs. Carson Steele just isn't the dog that people thought he was going to be. But I would be curious once Isaiah Pacheco comes back in, it's like six more weeks, right? Are we going to have a nice little 1-2 threat with Kareem Hunt and Isaiah? Or do we see Isaiah maybe jumping out to receiver? I don't know. I'm just saying. Casey says, since he makes himself lose with stupid fits and cost them yards. Yep. Cincinnati is the most undisciplined team out there, hands down. Notorious Melian GP says, no one can touch the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, let's just be honest. The Kansas City Chiefs have beaten themselves in order for you to have a chance to be in the game. Notorious GP, you are spot on. The only team that can beat the Kansas City Chiefs are the Kansas City Chiefs themselves. That's it. And Quake is still on this referee situation here. And if you get to lead, the rest will cheat versus the Kansas City Chiefs. There's video proof, says Big Quake. Show it to me then, Big Quake. Show me that the referees have it in their earpiece like, oh shit, guys, the Ravens are up by 7 points versus the Chiefs. We need to find a way to get them in like a lead. Oh, pass interference call. Come on. Guys, think logically here. Jesus. Hunt's on my fantasy team, said John, but John still lost his fantasy game. Imagine that. Mark Lewis is in the chat. What's up, Mark? He says, absolutely nothing. He just want to cry like the rest. Yes. Guys, we are lucky that social media wasn't a big thing back when the Patriots were in their dynasty run. When the Patriots were legitimately cheating, Spygate, Deflategate, whatever else gate you want to call it, we are lucky that social media wasn't dominant because everybody would have been screaming, oh, the Patriots are cheating, the Patriots are this, right? Now, you heard some rumblings like, oh, the refs are favoring Tom Brady, etc., whatever, right? Of course. Veteran favoritism is what it's called. You pay your dues after 4, 5, 6 years in the league. You start to get those calls. That's just the way it is. But the Chiefs legitimately have not cheated in the NFL. Patriots have. Deflategate, Spygate, whatever you want to call it. They legitimately have cheated. We don't hear people bitching about that. Oh, because you're losing. It's because you're losing. Big Quake says, I don't care about the game last night. I didn't watch. But yet you're in here talking shit about the referees, about how the referees say the Kansas City Chiefs' perfect season. Come on now, man. You want to talk shit. You want to run your mouth about how the refs helped the Kansas City Chiefs, but you didn't even watch the game last night. So you have no evidence or eye test or whatever. You're seeing what people are saying on social media. Stop being a sheep and watch the game for yourself. Show me where the referees help the Kansas City Chiefs. Because you can't. Because you can't. Same old Quake says Detroit and the Vikings will beat the Kansas City Chiefs. No, they won't. No, they won't. Detroit Lions won't even have an opportunity to get there. And the Minnesota Vikings, they can toe-to-toe to them with the receiver play, toe-to-toe to them with the running back play, toe-to-toe with them potentially with the defensive of play. But the Kansas City Chiefs have stuff that the Minnesota Vikings don't have. Patrick freaking Mahomes and a winning culture. It's just what it is. John says the Lions are not losing the Cowboys game. I don't know. We'll talk about that. The defense has been making teams one-dimensional, shutting the running backs down all day long, says Mark. Exactly. Anytime a defense can make an offense one-dimensional, they are in for a long, long day. No matter who you are. Even if the Kansas City Chiefs become a one-dimensional offense, it could be a long day. It won't be, but it could be. Another person says the Detroit Lions can beat the Kansas City Chiefs. I guess we'll see in the Super Bowl, right? Awesome look. Somebody is just a hater, says Mark Lewis. Listen, if you are talking bad about the Kansas City Chiefs, of like how the refs are saving them and like all that stuff, but then you're not even watching the games? Come on, dog. Come on, man. John Ross is in the chat, says, it's my birthday today. I'm 35 Dream Power. Well, John, happy birthday to you, man. Welcome to the old man club. We're all 35 plus here, it seems like. Hell, I just realized that I'm 37 and it's all downhill. Like, let's just be honest. I wake up every day, my feet hurt, my back hurts. Right? Whatever, it is what it is. Jim Powell says, watch the last 3 plays of the NO offense. 3 PIs in a row not called. There would have been one personal pass interference call that was not called. On the 4th and 15, I believe the pass was to Chris Ovale. There was one pass interference call that was not called. I will give you that one, but that did not decide the game. They already down by 13 points at that game with like 36 seconds left. The game was over. Mark Lewis says, oh, look, another hater, but you're going to talk about PI on Worthy. Hey, Mark, I wasn't going to go there, but yes, the pass interference call on James Worthy. How about the PI on Noah Gray? I'm just saying, it goes on and on and on. Mario Flores says, why did the Bengals run the ball and kill the clock? I don't know. Because Zach Taylor's a terrible coach. That's why. George Lucas says Spagnuolo is the next Jets head coach. If you want to talk about the Jets and their coaching aspect, Robert Saleh was a defensive-minded coach. I think now you got to go to an offensive-minded head coach, whether it be somebody like Eric Bieniemy or somebody that just said that. I think the Jets bring in an offensive guy. I don't know. I haven't done a lot of research on it yet, but we will talk about it. Of course, there's going to be a lot to talk about here coming up here. Big Quake says the holding call at the end, get the Queefs out of here with the zesty QB. I'm not for sure what call you're talking about. I don't think you are either because you weren't watching the game. Kareem and Pacheco would be the number 1 backfield right now next to the Lions backfield. Probably right. And to be honest, I'm surprised that the Saints don't use Jamal Williams more in the backfield. That could be a nice dominant 1-2 punch as well. Casey says, if a team can't stop a team that's 3rd and 24, that's a skill issue. Do you guys remember that? It was actually, Casey, it was 2nd and 34, right? 2nd and 34, and the Kansas City Chiefs got a first down still. The Kansas City Chiefs are just unstoppable. The Chiefs are the best team, says John, in the NFL. Pat, the best quarterback in the league, still, in my opinion, and I don't see them as cheaters. But all my lines are running, but my lines are ruining your three-peats. I would love to see the Giants or the Lions in the Super Bowl. Lions Chiefs Super Bowl would be great. James says the only team in the NFC that take out the Chiefs is the Super Bowl is the San Francisco 49ers. We've shown, I think the Chiefs have shown that the San Francisco 49ers cannot stop them because Kyle Shanahan shits the bed. Notorious Million GP says, take of the day, the Kansas City Chiefs' first 5 games is just like Andy Reid's first 15 plays. The Kansas City Chiefs are prepared for the Super Bowl by playing scrimmage with all the other teams. Chalk it up, baby. Notorious, I believe you are a Kansas City Chiefs fan from what your picture. It looks like you're wearing a Chiefs Kingdom shirt there. Me as a Chiefs fan as well. Let's not get crazy if the Kansas City Chiefs do drop a couple games. It is coming. It is coming. James says 35, 37. I'm surrounded by kids. Nathan says, are you still live? We are live, Nathan, right now. Live, raw, uncut, every Monday through Friday, 2:30 East Coast time. And Nathan says, yeah, blaming the refs is a cop-out. People who do that shouldn't be allowed to post on Facebook. Nathan, clearly you are not part of our AFC West Trash Talk group. Because that is all it is. That is all it is. Blaming of the refs. And Casey says, the way I view it, if you have to blame the refs for cheating, your football IQ is super low. And you can't accept the fact that maybe your team just isn't that good. Don't shoot the messenger. Shoot the sender. Casey, shoot the sender. But guys, are the Kansas City Chiefs unstoppable? Who can beat the Kansas City Chiefs right now? Let us know it in the comments below. Let us know in the comments below. But guys, it is Tuesday. And here on Tuesday, it is Overreaction Tuesday. I've been scouring the old interwebs, on the Discord, on the Facebook, on the Twitter machine, and there's some statements out there that I want to overreact to. I want some statements out there that you guys are going to be like, oh, what? So what we're going to do is I'm going to name some statements, and we're going to overreact to it or underreact to it. If you overreact to it, be like, slow it down, baby, you're wrong. But if it's an underreaction, you're like, you know what? Might be on there. Might be on to something. So Overreaction Tuesday, guys. Sit back and buckle up and play along in the chat below. And first up here on this Overreaction Tuesday, we got to talk about the Denver Broncos. We got to talk about the mighty, mighty Denver Broncos. Guys, right now the Denver Broncos are now on a 3-game winning streak after starting off the season 0-2. Week 1, they lost to the Seahawks. Week 2, they lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Since then, they have beaten the Bucks 26-7. They've beaten the New York Football Jets 10-9. And then they dominated the Las Vegas Raiders 34-18. So, guys, is it an overreaction or an underreaction that the Denver Broncos are a playoff-bound team? When I was prepping for this question, I had to go out to the DraftKings and look at the Broncos' percentage chance to make the playoffs. Right now, the Broncos' chances to make the playoffs right now are 35.7%. When we flash back to a couple weeks ago when they were 0-2, they had a below 6% chance of making the playoffs. Bo Nix right now has 866 passing yards this season, which is just 25th in the NFL, and he's just averaging 173 yards per game. The Denver Broncos' leading rusher has a total of 190 yards this season. It is Javonte Williams, and he's averaging just 38 yards per game. Now the defense is playing great. The defense is ranked 3rd in the NFL right now, giving up just 14 points per game and a total of 271 yards per game. The Jets and Titans somehow are ranked higher than the Broncos in this defensive realm, but they're giving up 17 points per game, which is the Jets, and 23 points per game versus which is the Titans. The only team that is holding teams to less points per game are the LA Chargers, which is 12 points per game. So, guys, when we look at the Broncos, are they a playoff-bound team? Guys, this is not an overreaction. This is not an overreaction because looking forward, the Broncos have some locks as some wins, right? They play the Raiders again. That's going to be a dub. They play the Panthers again. That's going to be a bug. Browns, Colts, and Chargers, and Bengals, all dubs. Those are locks. Lock it in. That is 6 more wins on the season. That gives them 9 wins on the season. And if they can able to steal a win from the Saints or the Ravens, the Chiefs, or the Falcons, that's 10 wins. And I think 10 wins get you guys into the playoffs. I think 10 wins is a playoff-bound team this year in the AFC. The AFC is a lot weaker than expected as well. We did not expect the Miami Dolphins to be a shit show. We did not expect the Jets to be a bad team. We did not expect, other teams out there, the Bengals and the Browns, to be shit teams. So, guys, this is not an overreaction. I think the Denver Broncos can make it to the playoffs. Now, winning a playoff game is a different question, but I think they can make the playoffs. So, guys, is it an overreaction or an underreaction that the Broncos are a playoff-bound team? James says, louder, Bo. Louder, Bo. James says, yes, they can, but they are a playoff exit team, a wild card exit team. One and done. One and done. John says they could sneak into the wild card, but they'll be one and done as well. Another one and done. James Frank says wild card, yep, but a one and done. Mario Flores says the Chiefs will be the first team to 3-peat Super Bowls, 100%. Big Quake says the Broncos' luck will run out. Bills, Bengals, Colts will all get better. Broncos have no offense. The Broncos' offense is definitely struggling. Now, they did have a breakout game versus the Raiders. Is it a fluke? Was it just a perfect game? Was it a perfect opportunity? Potentially. But I think locks for the playoffs this season right now are going to be the Ravens, going to be the Chiefs, going to be the Bills, and probably going to be the Houston Texans, right? Those are your 4 division winners. I feel. I don't think any wild card team is going to come from the East. I think the Steelers could make it as a wild card. I still predict them to have 10 wins this season. The Titans or Colts could potentially get hot and become a wild card team, and then the Broncos, right? I mean, the AFC, besides the top 5 teams in the AFC is shit. So, Big Quake, I think you're right. I think the offense will tucker out, but I don't know. I still think they get in. I still think they get in. Nathan Robert Wheeler says the Denver makes it. Makes it. So, guys, is it an overreaction that we think that the Denver Broncos are a playoff-bound team? And Derek says those 3 wins weren't against solid teams. So those 3 wins were not against solid teams, Derek, but they were against solid defenses, right? The Jets have the second best defense in the NFL. The Raiders have the number 12th ranked defense in the NFL. The Buccaneers have the number 11th ranked defense in the NFL. When you are beating teams with great defenses, along with your great defense, you can get wins. And they aren't against solid teams, but it's still good wins. It's still confidence building wins. So let's go ahead and jump over here into the chat here. Arnell Mickle Jr. says, what are your thoughts about the 49ers and Seahawks Thursday night football? We will be diving deep into this on Thursday, like Arnell. So be sure to subscribe and jump in on Thursday. But I think the Seahawks are going to dominate. I think the Seahawks have a little bit of a chip on their shoulder and ready to prove something. Nathan Robert Wheeler says, should Tua keep playing? I spoke on this last week or 2 weeks ago, and nobody should be making the decisions for Tua besides Tua. Me personally, I had 6 concussions through my career, right? A couple in high school, a couple in college, and then a couple post college in the indoor game. I think you do what is best for you at the end of the day. Tua should be financially stable for the rest of his life and his kid's life, right? Should have be financially stable. As long as they're not being completely stupid with their money, which I think Tua's a smart individual, and he's well diverse, whether it's in the stock market and like in retirement, not buying stupid amounts of cars and paying for everything for all of his friends and stuff like that. I think he is fine. Now, I think if he is cleared, which every indication says that he will be neurologically okay, that if he thinks he has the ability to play and can help his team win a Super Bowl, why not play? But ultimately, I believe Tua is married, and we all know that it's not ultimately Tua's decision; it's his wife's decision. Let's just be honest; it's his wife's decision at the end of the day. I know he got a kid and like a wife, so if I was Tua, he signed a pretty good deal, like over $100 million deal. I personally would walk away. I personally would not take the risk. I personally would be like, you know what? Let me pull an Andrew Luck card, and I want to be able to get down on the floor and play with my kids. I want to enjoy my wife. I want to enjoy my life. So I don't think he should play anymore, but we all know ultimately it is his decision. Mario Flores says, what will the Detroit Lions do in this playoffs? I think the Detroit Lions are an NFC championship team. I think they will struggle through the regular season, 10-7 record. They will drop some games that they should have won, and they should have won some games that they should have lost. But ultimately, I think that gears them up for the playoffs, gets them hungry for the playoffs. And I think they do make a NFC championship run. Because when you look at the rest of the NFC, who else is there? You had the Bucks, you have the Falcons, you potentially have the Saints, right? Who would have thought of like this? Three potential playoff teams from the NFC South, and then you would probably have the Commanders, and then the Seahawks. The Lions can beat any of those teams. Are you all done, bud? All right. Love you. John says, I agree. I think the Hawks win this game. Tua needs to walk away with his $110 million deal. Jameson says the Seahawks will easily destroy my whack-ass 49ers. Most overrated garbage franchise ever. Kansas City Chiefs are going 20-0. Jameson is the most bitter 49ers fans I have met in a long, long time. Guys, Jameson needs a hug. Somebody drive to Nebraska, bring him a San Francisco 49ers flag, and give him a hug and say, it will be okay. It will be okay. James Frank says, everyone talking about the playoffs, and I'm wondering if we'll go back to drafting a quarterback again in the top of the draft. No, you guys will be all right. Once you and no, I'm not gonna spoil it. We'll talk about that. We'll James, you know what? This is what is problem with Cleveland. This is what's problem with Cleveland. Is everybody thinks that Deshaun Watson is washed up. Maybe Now that the lawsuits are all over, maybe now that the girls are finally getting paid, maybe the fact that Deshaun Watson doesn't have to worry about going to court every other day or getting accused for something, maybe he can start playing again. The point of the matter is that the Browns need to move on from Winston. Or not Winston, from Watson. And put Jameson in there. They need to put Winston in there. Let him throw the ball around. Let him have some fun. But yeah. But do the Browns really need a quarterback? They might need a running back like this point. Derek says, is it me or is there like 12 games left in the 12 games left? It's been an injury season. I can't call nothing yet. Derek, you are spot on. This has been a injury-plagued first 5 weeks of the NFL season. We've seen Jordan Love go down. We've seen Isaiah Pacheco go down. There's a lot of injuries happening across the NFL. Nothing like really, quote, major, but definitely nagging and like hurting teams moving forward. But this is the most wild, and this is the most wide open the NFL has been for a very, very long time. And I agree with you. I cannot stretch mine. The Pats get the number 1 overall pick. More than likely. James says the 49ers are going to go 2-15. Then Kyle Shanahan needs to be fired. Brock Purdy could take his whack ass self somewhere. Good Lord. Jameson, weren't you just talking about how great Brock Purdy was like this time last year? MVP Brock Purdy. He's leading us to the Super Bowl. He's so great. He's this, and now all of a sudden take his whack ass somewhere. Kyle Shanahan needs to be fired. Fire everybody in San Francisco. A win can change the season, Jameson. Maybe Thursday they can beat the Seahawks and change the season a round. Nathan Robert Wheeler says, should the Jags play Lawrence or Mac Jones? I still believe that the Jaguars need to shake it up a little bit. But Trevor Lawrence did beat the Indianapolis Colts last week. But he did finally he finally broke 300 yards passing. But the Jaguars do play the next 2 games overseas, and they always win overseas. They're the winningest team overseas. They will stick with Trevor Lawrence for the rest of the season because he'll be on a 3-game winning streak after they come back from over the pond. I believe they play the Bears, and then I don't know who they play next. After after that. But they'll be on a 3-game winning streak. People will be talking about how great Trevor Lawrence is, how great Doug Peterson has turned this franchise around, and then they'll lose 9 to 12 more games in a row. That's just what the Jacksonville Jaguars do. Trevor Lawrence will play well enough for the next 2 games to keep his job for the rest of the season. And James says, Jameson, I would gladly take them both off your hands. You can have Stefanski and Watson. There we go. The trade has been complete. But guys, I got to get out of here. The little dudes are ready for swimming class. We got swimming. We got soccer. We got football tonight. And I got to prep for a playoff game this week. Oh, Lord, oh, Lord, oh, Lord. It is a busy over here in the Buck household. But we'll see you guys tomorrow, 2:30 East Coast time, live, raw, uncut NFL talk. Until then, we out.